lost my friend so close to me. They say find happiness and faith.
All right, hello and welcome back to the week 6 of Nova LCS. I'm the small dog, and joining me here is Blaster Boy. Tonight's game is the second game of the night. It's going to be Edgar Allan Pro versus Victorious Secret. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, and I actually need to change this thing on the stream real quick. Sorry.
Alright, no problem. The first band we see coming out is Lux, followed them by Udyr. So those are probably some more focused bands, I would imagine. Lux is somewhat of a meta pick now, but not extremely popular. Not as popular as she used to be way back in like season 2 and 3. Graves band follow up next.
Yeah, so we saw Udyr get banned away against Edgar Allan Pro last game as well. So I'm having I have a feeling this is a target pick towards Kumazaku.
Okay.
Yeah, Kumazaku. He was the jungler from last game, so bit of a target ban there.
Yeah, and a move ban to follow it up as well is what he just played last game. So really focusing on the jungler of Edgar Allan Pro. Very interesting strategy. Not something we usually see a lot of unless you're going for real big jungle power picks. Something like an Elise or a Rek'Sai or Gragas in the current state of the meta are all very large power picks. Those are things that you would normally see banned out rather than particular pocket picks, generally for junglers at least. So very interesting focus from Victoria's Secret here.
And something, well, I was gonna say there hasn't been a lot of support focus, but Soraka getting banned away, so no Wii heal bot running around. That's good to see. I'm really interested to see what Kumazaku does go with for this first pick, though.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how he ends up reacting to the 2 target band against him here. Like I said, very interesting strategy. Not something you usually have to worry about as a jungler, especially with your own pocket picks. Normally, a team would focus that away from a strong solo laner or a strong ADC or a strong top laner. Draven locked in first. He's actually a very strong pick right now. I wish he was a little bit more popular, honestly. I really do miss Draven being really popular in the meta. But I do feel like he is very strong right now. He benefited a lot from the items and the minor changes that they made to him in the preseason.
Yeah, very interesting to see. I was thinking about the Vi actually for Edgar Allan Pro, but they went with their AD carry first pick, which was a little bit interesting to me. However, Andy, the Canadian, looking towards maybe locking in this Vi. It's going to be a lot of single target damage and lockdown. A very good initiation tool, especially when you're playing against the likes of Draven.
Yeah, absolutely. Vi is a fantastic counter to Draven just in general. Like overall, she's just extremely strong against Draven in particular, and to have another champion to follow up so easily on somebody like Thresh, he'll be able to follow up on a good Vault Breaker or a good Assault and Battery in no time with a good death sentence, and that could easily mean near instant death for the Draven really before the lockdown can even end. Have a really hard time avoiding that, so I'll be interested to see what Edgar Allan Pro ends up picking here to try to work into that. Maybe a Janna, somebody to try to peel a little bit. I guess Blitzcrank is also an option. They seem to be building a Yasuo comp with this hover if this is locked in. Like to see Malphite to follow up then, if possible.
Yeah, Draven does have a displacement, so that can play off of Malphite as well. And it is going to be the Yasuo locked in. I think he's actually a pretty decent pick in this case. Looking towards Thresh, he'll be able to block a lot of the hooks, you know, removing some of the initiation power that Thresh offers. But like you were saying with that Malphite, it might get selected here by Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret steals us away. That was, wow. Yeah, okay, that's incredibly smart drafting from them. Really, really understanding exactly what Edgar Allan Pro wants to do. Ultimately, what do they want to do at this point? They have one displacement. They have a dedicated knockup. They want more.
Wow.
With the Yasuo. Zac and Cho are both very, very good at that. Neither, Cho'Gath at least, not nearly as strong as Malphite, I would say, as far as his initiation potential for Yasuo can go, but still a pretty strong pick. I'd really, really like to see the Zac here.
Edgar Allan Pro really looking to play around Stodan here. Almost everybody on the team, well actually no, everybody on the team has a displacement or a knockup, so let's just see if that Cho'Gath does get locked in. Ninja Gentleman, I think it would only be appropriate if he played Gentleman Cho'Gath.
Yeah, I would love to see that. That would be funny. It does seem like that'll be the lock-in. Okay, so this is a very Yasuo-focused comp. If Yasuo cannot get ahead, then Edgar Allan Pro will have some real issues. Draven, of course, can snowball as well, but he's going to have a bit of a harder time against this Tristana. If he's able to get into the late game, then he will outscale a Tristana 1-to-1, but you also have to take into consideration the incredibly tanky Malphite and the pick potential that Victoria's Secret has been able to build up so far. It's going to be really, really scary for Edgar Allan Pro at this point. They have a lot of beefy frontline, and they have two very, very strong carries that scale really well, but it's still going to be really dangerous if they can't get ahead.
Austin looking to select their mid laner to round out this team comp. Victoria's Secret, ooh, they could go with an Annie. That would be a lot of
really
initiation.
Good. He's really good against Yasuo too. Annie is incredibly strong against Yasuo. In the mid lane, it looks like that will be locked in the end, so very nice counter picking from Victoria's Secret here. Very, very smart draft. I have to applaud that. I'm actually really surprised by the amount of counter picking and just smart drafting that Victoria's Secret pulled out here from the two target bans on the jungler, who seems to be a major focus overall on Edgar Allan Pro.
I don't think that Victoria's Secret is going to have any problem initiating in this game. In fact,
not.
Edgar Allan Pro has a good amount of initiation as well. So I expect a fairly explosive team, like, just setup here. I think basically whoever gets the lead is going to be able to snowball this game and really kind of roll with it.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams, like you said, have a lot of initiation. They both have... They don't have very much disengage, really, either. They all have a lot of follow-up on the initiation. If Zac goes in, or if Blitzcrank lands a hook, like, let's say for a whole team fight, if Zac goes in or Cho'Gath lands a good rupture, Yasuo can go in, Blitzcrank can easily speed himself up, Draven can also speed himself up and get some damage in with a Whirling Death even beforehand. They all run face first into the enemy team if they can get a pick. If they can get a really good Yasuo ult, Victoria's Secret will not be able to do anything. They'll be immobilized for most of that time, which is really, really good for the... Honestly, it's a fairly slow follow-up from Edgar Allan Pro if they do need that to happen, but it's definitely a possibility. On the opposite side, Victoria's Secret, also very, very good initiation. They took the Malphite away from the Yasuo comp, which is incredibly smart drafting, like I said a million times already before. The Annie pick is a very good counter pick against Yasuo. She can also initiate very well. Thresh can also follow up on an initiation really well. Tristana can follow up on an initiation really well. And Vi can also initiate on her own also very, very well. They have, if any one of the three champions, Malphite, Annie, or Vi, initiate, they have all 5 champions can follow up incredibly quickly and can just wombo combo a lot of things. A Malphite ult into an Annie ult, potential AoE damage from Tristana. There's a lot of possibilities here for both of these teams, but a lot of them are focused at just running headfirst into each other.
Right.
So I can see this being very, very explosive.
Alrighty, well, guys, we're going to go to a quick break, but don't go anywhere, because we will be back on the Rift shortly. Be right back. Alright, welcome on to the Rift, everybody. Again, I am going to be your play-by-play caster, the small dog, and joining me on the color is once again Blaster Boy. And yeah, we'll get underway here. Looking at the starting items, fairly standard starts, nothing really out of the ordinary. Malphite gonna go with Doran's Shield. Ooh, Sapphire Crystal for Ninja Gentleman. That's a little bit interesting.
Yeah, sorry to leave you hanging there for a second.
No problem.
That is a interesting start for sure. Going to be looking to rush right into the Rod of Ages, most likely. A very standard build on Cho'Gath, I feel. Not sure how to feel about the immediate rush of that item, though. Or the start of the Sapphire Crystal. I prefer Doran's Ring, personally, when I play Cho'Gath. And that is what a lot of Cho'Gaths will do if they're looking to not go 100% full tank. So this could be kind of interesting. It gives them a little bit more sustain than we're used to seeing with one extra potion. So yeah, could be decently interesting here in this lane.
A lot of aggression, or I say a lot of aggression, but a little bit of extra aggression from Doc Boom in that bot lane, taking the Ignite, so maybe looking for a little extra kill pressure.
Yeah, that's pretty standard on Thresh. If you can get a hook, then you can really commit onto getting a kill, or ideally, another way that you could use it is to kind of negate some of those potions with the Grievous Wounds a little bit. That's a little bit more of a technical use of it, but the kill pressure down there is a really big thing. Austin immediately aggressing up in this top lane. Lots of damage being put down there. Very interesting start.
Having a little bit of trouble, but he should be able to sustain fairly well with his passive.
Yeah. On the wrong side of the lane now, even. Two of them.
Yeah, and he doesn't have level 2. Austin gonna get a good amount of damage down, as we see Doc Boom getting hooked in nicely. But again, the level 2 power spike is gonna come out for Victoria's Secret, and the Ignite's gonna go down onto Stalling. He's gonna be in a bit of trouble. Flash comes out of Doc Boom, but the Flay is not gonna land on Stalling as he flashes in reply.
Yep, very good timed aggression from Victoria's Secret. They're really taking advantage already of these level 2 power spikes, these small experience leads that they're able to build up just because of how they position in the lanes. It's really all how you manage the minion wave. In the bottom lane, on the case of Tristana, all she has to do is hit minions a lot.
Right.
And every time she gets a last hit, she auto pushes the wave, which lets her kill minions faster, gets her a little bit more XP, a little bit faster than somebody that's just looking to last hit whenever possible, like Draven. She's kind of ticking them all down, and that really lets her get lane control pretty often if you're able to take advantage of it.
right? But Blitzcrank very easily could turn this lane around.
Definitely.
Victoria's Secret has to be a little bit careful pushing up to that turret so as not to get caught underneath it and take a lot of damage.
Yeah, so we see a lot of aggression in this mid lane as well. A lot of dashing around on the minions from this Yasuo here. Annie moving up constantly, casting her spells on the Yasuo, trying to get the stuns, getting whatever harass down she can. Really, really standard lane there. Nothing too special if you have played the matchup at all. So not a lot to really talk about there. Just pretty standard range versus melee matchup overall.
Yasuo having a slightly harder time farming, but as to be expected. But the big story is probably in this bot lane currently. Very good job of Victoria's Secret to push them out and actually accumulate a 14 CS gold lead over Draven. He should be able to get back in time for a couple of these minions.
Yep, he'll make it back in time for a few of them. Andy was actually looking for a gank in the mid lane just a moment ago, but ends up standing on a ward. So he's moving up to the top side now. We could see this coming into play because Austin is letting his lane get pushed in now. He's trying to set up for a gank. Doc Doom hooked in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Doc Boom, he's going to get hooked up again, but stalling hooked in reply as we see the blob coming through. Gonna slow down two members of Victoria's Secret. AC Jupiter in a bit of trouble, taking a lot of damage. Has to use the heal, but holding that flash for a later day.
Yeah, a little bit greedy, but ended up working out for him in the end. Just very confident in the heal being able to get him out of there, I suppose. So there's nothing wrong with that necessarily. This top lane is completely flipped around. Ninja suddenly has complete lane control, harassing Austin down extremely low, constantly picking at him with that yell of his, the Feral Scream, and the Rupture as well, of course.
There's a lot more sustain, like I said before, out of Cho'Gath than there will be from the likes of Malphite. So I don't know if Andy's actually going to be able to do much in this top lane as he does come around, but the Ignite onto Stodan, he's going to go very low as he uses his ultimate in reply, but still going to survive, able to make it out. Tibbers is on the chase. That's going to be the burn, and that'll be first blood going over to Home Beyond. However, he's in a bit of trouble. Flash filled, and that's going to be Kumazaku picking up the kill. As we see in the top lane, Cho'Gath taking a bit of damage, but he's going to be able to make it out okay. So 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, that was crazy there. That was a really sad flash. Worst feeling in the game, I would say. Probably just to faceplant a flash like that, but a really nice timed aggression again from Victoria's Secret. Home Beyond was able to hit the level 6 and immediately already had the stun charged up. Immediately, as soon as he saw an opening, threw down the Tibbers, instant stun, chained into the Ignite, all of his spells just thrown right onto Stodan, and that took him really, really low. He had to end up limping away. The Tibbers AoE ended up being enough to take him down. Kuma just happened to be in the correct position at the correct time, and he was able to take advantage of Home Beyond committing so heavily to that, and unfortunately failing his flash as well. To clean up that kill in the end. Ninja Gentleman actually, my camera jumped up top for a moment in the middle of all that. He actually landed a really nice two-man Rupture.
Doc Boom getting hooked in. I overreacted a little bit to that. I don't think much will come from it.
No, doesn't seem like it.
Beastoid on point with his hooks so far.
Yeah, his hooks seem to be pretty good so far.
We'll have to see if he's able to land them on priority targets as the match goes on.
Even picking up a Thresh or something like that, though, could be pretty valuable. There's the hook again.
Yeah, Doc Doom gonna have to flash over the wall, uses the hook, actually pulls Zac through the wall. I'm not sure what happened there, but nonetheless, teams looking to disengage as Annie is coming around the side. Might be in a little bit of trouble. You know, top lane, Ninja Gentleman taking a bit of damage. But that's going to be the Vault Breaker, missing Kuma. Oh, nothing actually coming from it. Just Summoner's Burn.
Austin commits.
Yeah, that'll be the Unstoppable Force, but I'm not sure if Austin has enough damage. That'll be the Rupture to disengage. Home Beyond, however, As I expected, a lot of aggression early on here.
Oh yeah, definitely. All of these lanes are fairly aggressive. Austin is even finding a way to play around this melee versus melee matchup as a Malphite. Stodan going in without his ultimate. Oh, dodges the Tibbers. Beautiful dash. Actually, was the stun? Let me double check if the stun was even up there. He may have actually gotten hit by that. I'll just double check that real quick.
I think we're having a little bit of spectator lag because I keep seeing things that don't normally happen, but Andy the Canadian now a bit caught out. That'll be the ignite. Uses the assault and battery, but it won't be enough. Stodan picks up his first kill of the game.
Yeah, good start to start snowballing that Yasuo. You want to get him whatever kills you can. There's the last breath.
Homebeyond completely caught out, and that's going to be another kill going over to Stodan immediately. Didn't expect that wind slash to land, but
yeah, max range. Beautiful, beautiful Steel Tempest there coming out from Stodan. Perfect timing for him to have his last breath up as well. Really nice kill there overall. We do see, oh boy, this is a meta now. Welcome to preseason. We see a Frost Queen's Claim being built on the mid laner. That's something pretty common with a lot of casters, actually. I haven't actually sat down and thought about like why exactly this is so good, but I have seen that it's pretty common. Doc Doom gets hooked.
Take a little bit of damage, but stalling gets hooked right back. So hooks exchanged, and Zach has returned. That's going to be Jupiter getting knocked up. Lantern actually going to get canceled, it looks like. Doc Boom going to flay away, but gets hooked in, and that should be another kill. Going over to Stalling. He's not quite able to get up there, but that'll be the ultimate, and Stalling cashes in those adoration stacks. Gets a little bit of extra gold.
Yeah, nice little bonus there for him overall. Nice gank from Kuma. Good timing to be there. Able to use that elastic slingshot really effectively. Stodan going in again.
Again, Stodan, but that's going to be the stun out, and the shutdown goes over to Annie, so...
yeah.
Even trades in that mid lane so far.
Yep. The difficult thing about playing Yasuo into Annie, and this is like something I think borderline that I think they should patch as a Yasuo player myself. Annie's stun is not consumed if she throws her Q and you block it with Wind Wall. Actually, it is so frustrating because there's nothing you can do about the stun them because you can't block her W since it's not a projectile. Right. You can't block Tibbers. The only thing you can block is her Q, and if she throws a stun at you, the stun is still there. It keeps all the charges. It makes it really, really hard to actually burn Annie's stun unless she just misclicks W or something like that. And you're able to like dash out of it or something. Andy was looking for something in the bottom lane, but not quite able to find anything. Yeah, right back at
an interesting gank, but Stodan, he needs to be a little careful. That's the ignite as well as the Q from Annie, and that's going to be Stodan going down.
Yeah, I don't think he moved at the... I don't think he used his dash at the angle that he intended to on one of those minions there. Kind of caught him off guard. He ended up overstaying a little bit longer than he wanted to, and that ended up costing him his life. The Q was able to connect from Home Beyond, that disintegrate, and then the ignite piled right on top. No problem at all to pick up that kill. Kuma is in the bottom lane again. Doc Doom gets hooked.
Yeah, but the turret does not aggro. However, Zach is there, knocks him up in the wrong direction, actually. But Annie is coming around. Kuma has to be a little bit careful.
Annie as well. Yep, no commitment in the end. They just go for the dragon instead. But will they actually... No, they don't even start it. They see there's a ward there. Do they decide against it, or are they just going to wait?
I'm slightly worried for Edgar Allan Pro, just because Annie's getting so far ahead early on here. Might be a little bit thing to worry about, but Stalling now completely caught out. That's going to be a kill picked up for Andy. A little unfortunate they weren't able to give that over, but nonetheless.
Yeah. At this point, Tristana has such a large CS lead, she's just completely fine with just getting assists. She has a 40 CS lead because of how hard she's pushing in, and the Stalling is really going to have to try to catch back up somewhere else, probably with his passive, if he's able to actually get these kills and keep his stacks up. The dragon will be started now as a result of the death from stalling in that bottom lane just a moment ago.
Andy has to be careful, though. Not able to take that one down. Very low on health, but Stodan very without luck there. He's going to go down, and that's going to be the 4th kill picked up for Annie. She makes her way towards this top side now.
Yep, she does not have flash, but she has her stun available. No tippers either. She can get this with the Unstoppable Force.
Yeah, Ninja Gentleman not going to have much he can do there. Stunned up, locked up, and taken down. That'll be a nice kill going over to Malphite.
Yep. If you can get the Malphite snowballing, he's a really strange tank. If he just sits in lane alone, he actually doesn't win a lot of matchups early on. He just scales really, really well, even against ADs. Malphite has a really rough time in lane early, but if you can gank him, even at just right at level 6, if you can gank him, Unstoppable Force can easily net you a kill, and if you can give him the kill, and then just gank up there again and again on ult cooldown, he can just become a monster up in that lane. I've seen it many times in team games like this, in solo queue, in normal games everywhere. If you can get a Malphite snowballing, he actually snowballs surprisingly well for a tank. Stalling a bit overextended, Andy's looking for the ult.
Edgar Allan Pro very lacking in vision, and that's going to be Stalling getting hooked up and taken down. Did not see that Vi gank coming. She just walked right in there and took what was hers.
Yep, no wards at all from Edgar Allan Pro in the river. Currently, they're not able to get control of that area because of how pushed back they are. Even when they extend that far up, Vi is there immediately to gank them and punish them for extending that far, and they're not getting wards down. They finally have one down in the Tri-Brush and one in the Dragon Pit as well, so they'll know if that's the target, but they might just lose this turret here.
Jupiter does a lot of damage to those turrets as Tristana, but they might actually live it up. Looking to extend this laning phase a little longer. I mean, looking at Jupiter's CS right now, 113 to the 58 of stalling, so that is a massive lead, and looking to further it.
Yeah, really brutal lead there. One thing that's kind of unfortunate about that gank just a few minutes ago from Andy when he went down to the bottom lane, just as Beastioid tried to hook Andy, he used his ultimate, which makes him unstoppable, so he cannot be affected by any CC. And the hook connected with him just as he casted the ult, and so that would have pulled him into turret otherwise. And he may have actually gone down, and Stalling may have lived, but unfortunately the ult interaction there ended up being kind of weird and didn't end up working out for them. No turret loss though. Anywhere actually. Not a single turret has fallen yet. Not a single neutral objective. Doc Doom hooked again.
Yeah, and that's going to be Zach there to follow up. Doc Doom gonna fall. Stalling cashing in more adoration. Getting more gold, but even so, he's missed so much CS so far. I'm not sure how much he can really keep up. Checking the gold totals right now. 5.2k for the likes of Jupiter. And 4.7, so not too far behind, only 300.
Yeah,
I definitely think the adoration has helped keep that lead.
Yeah, it definitely has. If Stalling is able to continue stacking this adoration, and Beastioid and Kuma can constantly combo the rocket grab right into the elastic slingshot with Kuma just happening to be there, really. If he can continue to focus ganks down there and continue to get money onto this Draven, that is the way that Edgar Allan Pro can really pull back into this game, because if you have a really strong Draven, I mean, the Annie will still really, really hurt and still be a huge threat, and the Malphite will as well, going more AP focused with the Abyssal Scepter. But Draven is really their safest option, I feel, for carrying this game, because if he gets ahead, then he can just carry the game completely on his own. He doesn't need to rely on his allies to hit knockups and then him be in range to follow up with something like a last breath or anything like that. He can just throw axes at you all alone and just kill everything.
I do worry slightly, though, about the safety of playing Draven with all these threats that Victoria's Secret has. I mean, the only champion he can really get close to without instantly getting CC'd, which can then be followed up by all the other CC that Victoria's Secret has, is Jupiter. And
Yeah.
I mean, even then, Jupiter has a lot of damage that he can put back. So Draven gonna be very reliant on positioning in these team fights. If he doesn't position correctly, I think it's gonna be lights out for him and possibly a lost team fight, just because he's gonna be a lot of their damage.
Definitely. Yeah, if Ninja Gentleman and Kuma may just have to go on peel duty because of the amount of initiation on the side of Victoria's Secret. Edgar Allan Pro doesn't really need to worry about initiating, so what they would probably want to do, should this Draven get ahead, is they want to play a bit more passively, play a bit further back, be bodyguards for him, be unkillable tanks that just follow his every move. Do not let him get separated so that he doesn't get soloed out. Even if they throw 3 people onto the Draven, if there are tanks there, CCing the enemy or just slowing them down in general.
Oh, Home Beyond gonna get caught out here. Ignite is down, but Kumazaku going very low as well. He's gonna bounce away and be okay for now, but that was very explosive, but nobody going down.
Yeah, that was a lot of commitment. Stalling, going to fall.
Jupiter picking up another kill.
Yep, ended up losing that turret as well, unfortunately. Beastioid maybe a little bit caught. No, not the case in the end. Yeah, the tanks will just have to play peel duty for this Draven if he's able to get ahead. It's basically the point I was making there, in order to keep him alive. That's really going to be the win condition for Edgar Allan Pro, unless they can start getting picks. If they can pick off 1 or 2 people at a time before a fight even starts, then they can win. Then they might be able to win a fight, because this is a pretty wombo combo based comp. You want ideally, what you would want is either, if there's a big group, you want the Malphite to go in first and then the Tibbers to follow up. If there's like one person out of position, you want the Vi to go in and then Threshook follow up, and then you can go from there with the other 2 if you want. That is the most guaranteed combo that they have, really. But if they can pick off the Malphite or the Annie or the Vi, or really even Tristana, just for the sake of taking out the follow-up damage, any particular person is really pretty pivotal to this whole composition working out. So it could be pretty disastrous for Victoria's Secret if they're not able to keep everyone in one piece.
Right. And Luden's Echo picked up something I wanted to touch on. Was I don't really like the Frost Queen's claim as much on somebody like Annie, just because you won't see her chasing people down, but Austin completely caught out. He's gonna have to use the Unstoppable Force to get away. Even so, he will get away. Not enough movement speed on the likes of Stodan there. But like I was saying, I don't like the Frost Queen's claim as much on Home Beyond, on an Annie, because she's not going to be really looking to chase down people as much as she will, you know, just that surprise factor.
Yeah.
Andy taking a good amount of damage.
Yeah, the CS disabling it is something that's kind of weird. The biggest benefit I can see from it is if you're constantly if you take lane control by poking someone out or something. This is common on Lux. Oh, Kuma committing to the bottom lane.
Yeah, Doc Boom in a bit of trouble, but actually getting knocked to the side, so Beastioid not able to land that hook.
Stodan.
Yasuo.
Recalled in the bush.
Recalled right in front of the faces of everybody, but Baron actually getting pinged out. I'm not sure if they wanted to do that or if they thought maybe it was still Rift Herald. Nonetheless, not healthy enough for that just yet.
No, they were probably hoping it was still Rift Herald mostly. Yeah, that definitely would have been a possibility there, just because of the recall timers from Ninja and Stalling. When they or Stodan rather, when they both backed like that, they really put a lot of risk on giving up that objective. And here's more recalls, unfortunately, all at once. This is why teams at higher levels will try to stagger their recalls so that they don't give up objectives like this. It's just something that can end up happening that you may not even realize unless you really sit down and look at it or take a look at a VOD. That dragon only was only taken by Victoria's Secret because Stalling and Beastioid and Kuma all backed at the same time, approximately. And so there were no members there on the bottom side at all to possibly contest that. And Victoria's Secret already had vision control around the area as well to some extent. Or they had at least cleared the vision enough from Edgar Allan Pro to know that they can do this completely safely and they have nothing to worry about at all.
Right. Dodan and Ninja Gentleman right back to that top lane, and finally they're able to take down the turret. Something that I've liked out of Edgar Allan Pro, they've had decent vision so far, but what I've seen a little bit is they've gone for deeper wards, as we see Ninja Gentleman might be a little caught out here. He does get the unstoppable force on top of him. Jupiter still attacking away, might actually take him down, but Austin gonna go down, and Ninja Gentleman surviving just barely. Oh, Stalling.
Stalling.
He's a little bit caught out. Stalling not gonna be able to survive. Just kind of hits the S button.
Yeah, basically. Not really much you can do. Nothing you can really do in that situation at all. And the lack of vision in that bottom side in a lot of areas is really hurting Edgar Allan Pro a lot. The Draven really is their biggest win condition at this point. If they're able to get this Draven rolling, then he can just solo carry the game like I mentioned before. But they're not really able to do him any favors, and it doesn't seem.
Like I was saying before, they had a lot of vision deep in these bushes near mid lane, but they honestly didn't need it. They were warding ahead as if they were going to aggress into the enemy jungle, but they never did. They just had the wards there and didn't really have any purpose. They would have been better served to keep Stalling safe and make it more easy for him to farm.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's something that I really like to emphasize a lot, how warding moves. So Stodan
gonna get the assault and battery down onto him, but flashes over the wall to keep himself safe.
Good flash there. Looks like a blue buff will be a loss, though. If it ever stops resetting. There we go. Yeah, I really like to emphasize vision moving with your situation in the game. Basically, if you're in the position of Edgar Allan Pro at this point, you want to be warding in your own jungle. Because you can see that's where Victoria's Secret is. They literally just walked up right into Edgar Allan Pro's jungle and took their buff and then went and tanked the top tier 1 turret. When you've lost...
Yeah, I'm lost for words at that flash as well.
Man, yeah, when you're pushed so far back because you lose your outer turrets, you just need to be warding in your own jungle, and they're starting to do that now. But that's something they should be doing bottom side as well to keep Stalling safe. That's something that they need to be doing as soon as they feel like they've fallen behind. Really. Kumar.
Baron Asher started up here by Victoria's Secret, but it's a little bit too risky to do it just yet. Cho'Gath does not have his teleport available, but he has made it towards his mid side. It might actually be good to head towards his mid and actually get the push off. Edgar Allan Pro could get a lot off of this, but no, they're actually just going to back away. Opportunity lost there.
Yeah, well, maybe not yet. They might be able to salvage it since everybody was still in the process of backing. They might still be able to pull this off in the end. They are pushing in. They're going to get the tier 1 turret for sure. No matter what. There's nothing there to stop them at all. So that was a good call overall from Edgar Allan Pro, but a little bit slow. They could have done that much faster and been much safer overall.
Yeah, something I saw from Stalling, he was clearing away the Raptors while everybody on Victoria's Secret was pushing that top lane. I really felt like he probably could have been mid lane, forcing pressure there, because they could have at least pressured that turret, if not taken it down, while taking the bot turret as well. Ninja Gentleman doing a good job of keeping those lanes pushed up. But instead, he decides to take the jungle camp. And, you know, I think that the importance of lane pressure is kind of undervalued a little bit. Huh,
Yeah.
another flash.
Another flash?
Yeah, Beastoid just flashed right by Raptors.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit interesting.
Oh, that looked like a misclick there.
Yeah.
Huh. That's interesting. All these flashes being burned all of a sudden. But yeah, I 100% agree with you there. Lane pressure is extremely valuable. Being able to push in and get any closer in gold. They're dead even in turrets now because they finally got that mid turret. But Victoria's Secret rather, still has a gold lead, and they're still pressuring the map better than Edgar Allan Pro is. And so they're able to walk through the jungle freely. They're able to get these aggressive wards down. Look at the pink ward all the way back past red buff. And now they're able to walk up and take the dragon. Oh,
He's gonna get stolen away from Kuma, but there's the fight. Very explosive 3-man unstoppable force. Jupiter on the backside though, completely untouched. Stalling is still alive, but he's not able to put back the damage needed, and that's gonna be 4 for nothing. Jupiter looking for a little bit more flashes, but isn't able to get the charge off. Does get it now, but Jupiter using everything to get it. Stalling not gonna be able to take him down. It was actually 3 for nothing. It looks like Kuma able to make it out on the backside there.
Yeah, so that was a very, very nice steal from Kuma there. Just flew right over the entire fight, the entire pit. Beautiful 3-man ultimate to follow up on the elastic slingshot in the Let's Bounce, but the Tibbers hit Sodan right after he came out of the ultimate. Then the unstoppable force hit 3.
Jupiter getting hooked over the wall, but he is able to rocket jump away. Akuma looking for a little bit more now as Jupiter gets slowed. Flash from Andy, but there's Stodan to completely cancel his Vault Breaker. That's the Ignite ticking away, and that'll be another shutdown. A lot of gold swinging back into the favor of Edgar Allan Pro, but are they able to get anything off the back of this? Austin caught out as well. He's gonna get hooked over the wall and ulted.
They can take
by
Baron.
Stodan. Yeah, this is gonna be Baron.
No vision control for Victoria's Secret now. It all faded away. They moved it all down towards the dragon area, rather. They moved it further into Edgar Allan Pro's jungle because they assumed they would be aggressing, and that is definitely not wrong. And they moved it down towards dragon as well because that was a more immediate objective. But Edgar Allan Pro, they get a few picks. These are the picks that they need to be getting in order to continue progressing in this game. Now they get Baron. Now they're only 1,000 gold behind, and they're even ahead in gold overall if you count the stats. Baron buff is worth a couple thousand gold at the very minimum in stats across your entire team. So this is effectively a gold lead for Edgar Allan Pro. Now they need to push more turrets, because now that they're even in gold nearly, if they can get more turrets, which they're in the position to be able to do now, pretty decently effectively at least, especially with the Baron buff, that'll help them a ton. If they can get these turrets, then they can come out with a gold lead by the end of the Baron buff, and they could continue to control this game and completely turn it around and pull out the win. Very long road ahead, however. I want to get too ahead of myself, but it is a distinct possibility. Andy and Austin now caught out.
Kuma gonna go aggressive. Beastoid does land the hook, and that's gonna be Andy going down. That's another shutdown, and Austin did not give up. He stick around and died for his sins. Beastoid on point with the hook so far, but also Kuma just doing a great job with these initiations.
Yep. He knows exactly where to be with the elastic slingshots. He knows exactly how far away he needs to be, and he's always hitting multiple people as well. These elastic slingshots are amazing, and this will be an inhib going down for Edgar Allan Pro all of a sudden. They were able to turn this off of just a few picks. A few small mistakes can completely turn a game in this current meta, in the current state of the flow of the game overall, just because of how gold moves and how quick everything is now.
Edgar Allan Pro completely shifting the momentum, cracking the base wide open, looking for their 6th turret of the game here as they push it down. All members have respawned for Victoria's Secret, and Edgar Allan Pro looking like they're going to back off now.
Yep, that's the smart thing to do. The Baron buff nearly wearing off. A very, very, very effective use. They got 3 turrets with it overall and an inhibitor and a few kills to top it all off. The icing on the cake, basically, for them. So they come out with a net gold advantage now. They are about 1,500 gold in the lead, and that is a very good start for them to progress to end this game. Unfortunately, Red Team is still very strong. If they can get another big combo team fight like we just saw at the Dragon before, despite Kuma's steal and a 3-man last breath, they just got 1 combo off. They got a Tibbers onto just 1 particular important person, which was Stodan, and an Unstoppable Force onto 3 because everybody grouped up because they thought they could just brute force their way through from Edgar Allan Pro. And that ended up completely turning the fight. The only thing that ended up not working out for Victoria's Secret there was that they weren't really able to get many objectives. They committed so much onto that dragon, and it ended up being stolen, so they didn't get anything there. And they didn't really get a lot of turrets. And it ended up resulting in them getting caught out in Edgar Allan Pro's jungle, which snowballed into a Baron, which eventually turned into an inhib. Because Edgar Allan Pro just used the buff exactly how it's supposed to be used. To take turrets.
Edgar Allan Pro doing a very good job supplying vision, and I think a lot of it comes from these blue trinkets. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
they're so strong right now. A lot of this vision is just not going to expire, and we haven't really seen any upgraded trinkets except for right now. Thresh decides to get that upgraded sweeper. Try and clear away a little bit of vision as we see Andy using the assault and battery onto stalling. He's gonna flash out of the unstoppable force, but there's the vault breaker not landing on stalling. Everybody trying to make it away as the other 2 members of Edgar Allan Poe start up this dragon.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna make it.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get it, and everybody gets out. Really not working out for Victoria's Secret here. They committed 2 ultimates onto an attempted pick, but they did not have people in position to follow up. Austin, unfortunately, ended up missing that unstoppable force because of the prediction flash from stalling. There's no way that could have been reactive. It could have just been a coincidence for sure, but I'm going to assume that was predictive.
My guess is he was spamming the button as soon as he came down from that assault and battery.
Yeah, he knew that it would be comboed immediately.
Oh!
Whoa,
Flash from Home Beyond, and now Kuma might be in a little bit of trouble. He does get his passive popped, and this should be a dead Zac.
Those 3 members committed bottom actually though in the end, and that's 3 members of Edgar Allan Pro pushing in the top lane. The teleport from Austin will be enough to deter them. They don't want to give up anymore. They just need to sit back right now. Keep the vision up. Keep the vision in Victoria's Secret's jungle. And just wait. Wait patiently 1.5 minutes for the Baron to respawn. Take the next Baron, and that can be Edgar Allan Pro's way to win this game.
I do think I agree with their split push method right now.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
With the power that Victoria's Secret has in these team fights, if they land their full combo between Annie, Austin, or Annie Malphite and Vi, it's just going to be so hard to survive that, landing on multiple members of the team. But with the split push, they're not able to combo very well. They have to have one of the carries in either the top or the bottom lane to keep those lanes cleared with somebody else there to assist them, or else they'll just get dove. But with Dragon or Baron respawning in 40 seconds, that looks to be the focus.
Edgar Allan Pro, what they really need to do right now is they need to continue to use their blue trinkets to get vision into Victoria's Secret's jungle. They need to get wards down in the important places, immediately right behind the pit and in the pixel brush right where stalling is around right now, where they already have a ward as well. They just need to keep vision of anywhere that Victoria's Secret could get in, and they need to, more importantly, I would say, try to clear the vision as best they can, but they lack a sweeper or pink wards. This is going to be kind of dangerous, or kind of difficult for them, rather.
flash out of Stodan.
Ooh.
But yeah, I was gonna say, unfortunately, they don't have any sweepers or pink wards, so they're not gonna be able to secure the Baron safely at all.
Yeah, it's going to be much more difficult for them to do it. They really do need at least one pink ward somewhere to clear out part of that vision, or they just need to wait it out, which they really can't afford to do. Because Victoria's Secret has now reversed the gold again. Now they are 1,000 gold up because they were able to take advantage of just their combo by going down bottom, picking off Kuma and Stodan just a few moments ago. They were able to use that to their advantage, break the split push entirely by killing half of it because of the lack of the Baron buff, the lack of real decisive power from Edgar Allan Pro. They really do need this Baron in order to win the game at this point. I don't think there's really any way around it unless they can continue to get picks. But the Baron is significantly safer because it just gives them a fight advantage overall. They don't need to rely necessarily so much on getting one or two people completely caught out if they have the Baron buff to boost their stats a little bit, to boost their minions, or they could set up a split push and just completely avoid fighting entirely and just go for turrets, which may even be the smarter option. They're going to commit back, though. The wards have expired now from Victoria's Secret. They don't really have a lot of options. They only have one blue trinket. Now that ward's dead as well. They have to face check this. Fortunately for them, Edgar Allan Pro is not committing, and they're able to get even more wards down. This is maybe getting sketchy for Edgar Allan Pro now.
Stalling, despite only having less than half the CS of his counterpart, has almost the same exact items as Tristana. I mean, he's going to be very strong. We see everybody from Victoria's Secret going back now. And the Baron is going to get started up, so Thresh is going to be a little bit late to this. Wards are down, and there's no way to clear them. Vi is still alive. This is a very risky Baron.
I guess they believe in Kuma's smites. He's already gotten one steal. Can he get the secure? This is very, very, very risky, but the lack of numbers.
That's going to be the smite going over to Kuma, but that's the unstoppable force instantly getting the last breath. But Kuma in a little bit of trouble here. They don't have their carries, and this is going to be a whitewash in favor of Victoria's Secret. They're going to take down Ninja Gentleman and look to push into the base. 40-second death timers. This could possibly be game.
Yeah, this definitely could be game. They're going to grab the minion wave. Jupiter's just going to rocket jump for that. There's no reason to keep any of your cooldowns up when there's only one person that you kind of have to worry about a little bit. That's Beastioid. Jupiter doesn't have to be super concerned, really, because he doesn't have a ton of kill pressure on him. They're going to grab multiple waves, though. They're going to try to split this up as best as possible. Beastioid does have the Baron buff. He might be able to pull something off with these minions, pull off a great defense. They might only get an inhib. The death timers are really short.
But looking back to that Baron, I mean, Edgar Allan Pro secured it. They just weren't able to fight. They were so grouped up in that Baron pit, and I feel like the spells just rained down from Victoria's Secret, just tearing Edgar Allan Pro apart.
Yeah, that's basically what happened. So basically what that fight showed is that even with a Baron buff, even with the best situation that Edgar Allan Pro can really find at this point very easily, a straight up fight is not an option under any circumstances. Good wards here from Victoria's Secret on their way out. They were able to spot Kuma. They knew that he would be going for it, so they just smite it down. They just burn through it as quickly as possible. The dragon, that is. The issue could be, though, all you need is one Baron buff to get those minions to their like absolute peak in the game, and Beastioid still has his Baron buff. If Edgar Allan Pro is able to use this properly, put him in the right lanes with the right people, and they're able to split up Victoria's Secret properly, maybe put pressure on the bottom lane instead, Beastioid top with one or two other members, that could be a really big push because the minions are so much stronger, even with just a single Baron buff. That could end up being extremely important for them.
Draven ulting in kind of the wrong direction. there. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but
Game is weird.
Edgar Allan Pro doing a really good job of getting those picks earlier on.
Yep.
We'll have to see if they're able to make that happen, because I don't think they're gonna win a straight up 5v5 fight at this point. The scaling from Victoria's Secret is just superior in every way.
Yeah, Tristana, even if she doesn't outdamage the Draven, she's able to sit outside of his range and just hit whatever she really wants. There's not a ton of range. There's not really a ton of risk for the Tristana to just sit there at max range, maybe even almost completely exposed. There's not really much of a threat for her overall. There is a decent amount of initiation if the Zack's able to get in somehow, but if he's tied up, concerned with the rest of the fight, there's no way he's going to be able to focus that Tristana out and pick her out in particular. It's looking really grim for Edgar Allan Pro, but if they do get a pick, if they do somehow get a really good fight, then they can win this game. That's all they need. It's just a matter of Victoria's Secret splitting up. They're going to commit on the stalling.
Stalling gonna instantly get blown up. That'll be Kuma trying to salvage the fight, but he gets hooked in, flayed backwards, has to pop the ultimate, but even so, his passive is gonna get popped, and Yasuo's nowhere to be seen. That's gonna be 2 members already falling. Ninja Gentleman getting chased down. The Ignite is on, but he's not quite gonna go down. 3 for nothing. And Victoria's Secret looking to clean up this base.
Yeah, Victoria's Secret just really has the stronger 5v5. They're able to find fights more easily because what other option? Oh, okay. Big commitment there. What other option does Edgar Allan Pro really have around a turret like that other than to stack as multiple members?
Stoden gonna go down. Jupiter picking up another kill before this game is over, and that'll be Andy securing the final kill to get the ace. Now looking onto these Nexus turrets as respawns do come. Stalling will be up. Running for it. He auto attacks a minion though, so doesn't look like a lot's gonna get done here. Kuma will be respawning as well, but that'll be the Nexus falling, and the game will be going over to Victoria's Secret. Very well played. Edgar Allan Pro putting up a good fight though.
Yeah, absolutely. All it took was one mistake. Edgar Allan Pro definitely has potential there as a team. They really showed it. If the enemy team, whoever they're playing against, makes just a few little mistakes, then they can try to bring back the game. And they know exactly what plays to make in order to do that when they have a really large opportunity. When it's a smaller window, something like the Draven taking the Raptors while Victoria's Secret was pressuring the Baron area. 4 members there is really enough to deter Victoria's Secret from attempting the Baron. You could have just sent the Draven mid like you had mentioned. Instead, he took the Raptors and then moved over there instead. He could have been putting pressure for at least a little while on that mid lane, maybe even gotten the turret there. As the rest of Victoria's Secret ended up recalling shortly after, they could have been in that mid lane pressuring it much, much earlier. It took them a little while, but they did do it eventually. If they can shore up that shot calling a little bit on those smaller windows plays, the smaller opportunities, they can make a lot of really solid plays and really make a case for themselves.
Absolutely. And I think what really was their downfall was the lack of pink wards and the lack of sweepers. As we see, they did pick up 2 by the end, but it was much too late. They needed it in that Baron pit to really kind of secure it. I don't think it was really the safest thing. Even though they did get the Baron, they lost the fight, and a lot of that had to do with Victoria's Secret knew exactly what was happening. But do you have any last comments before we go?
No, I don't think so. I think that's about all I have to say about this game.
Alrighty, well, I would like to take this time to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the cast. I've been the Small Dog, and the color, again, was the Blaster Boy, and we had a great time. I'd like to shout out to Austin for giving us the opportunity to cast here tonight, and I'd love for you guys to visit the Facebook page, facebook.com/groups/NVCCLOL. Join the group if you have not already. We'll be updating you on all the future casts to come. But on behalf of myself, Austin, and the entire productions crew, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and we will see you all